Sea. Just a few months ago, we laid out a shared vision for a safe, secure Western Hemisphere where borders and laws are respected and narco-terrorists are brought to swift and absolute justice. And yesterday and today and going forward, we are gathered to take the next step in our shared fight against narco-terrorists, gang members, and drug and human traffickers. Designated terrorist organizations, the ISIS and Al-Qaeda of the Western Hemisphere, no different, and they should be treated as such. It's now nearly 1 year since the launch of Operation Southern Spear, the first time in history that the Department of War launched a sustained military campaign against U.S. designated terrorist organizations in our shared hemisphere. And it has been a resounding success thus far. We've seen record drops in movements of narco vessels across major maritime corridors inside our hemisphere, including, at a minimum, 65% reduction in the Western Caribbean, a 60% reduction in the Eastern Caribbean, and a nearly 50% reduction in the Eastern Pacific in the north and south of the Galapagos Islands. We have knocked the narco-terrorists in the maritime domain on their heels. We forced them to adjust their tactics, techniques, and procedures, their TTPs, and operate outside of their comfort zones. We are retaking the open seas and our maritime borders. This is a bad time to get in a drug boat in the Western Hemisphere. The results are historic. In the United States, fatal drug overdoses have dropped dramatically. Flows of fentanyl are way down. Crossings at our southwest border have dropped to 0. The murder rate in American cities is at modern all-time lows, historic drops in crime. Life-changing progress that benefits each and every citizen of the United States of America, and indeed, every citizen of your nations as well. Now, predictably, as we like to call them, the fake news media has tried to discredit and delegitimize Operation Southern Spear. These same voices said nothing when governments allowed an unprecedented border crisis and record drug overdoses and deaths. Yet now they deny and try to diminish our success, our shared success. The left-wing media wants us to return to the failed strategies of the past, when America neglected our own neighborhood and our own neighborhoods, even as we sent our best, in our case, American troops, to do nation building halfway across the world. Globalists in Washington looked the other way, while our friends and neighbors to our south were victimized by drugs, violence, mass migration, Marxism, and foreign exploitation. The Biden administration and the Democrats ignored the U.S. southern border, openly accepting mass illegal immigration and destroying many of our great American cities, an invasion, no doubt. Under decades of globalist neglect, more than 1 million Americans died from fentanyl, cocaine, and other drugs. That's more loss than the United States had suffered in any war in our 250-year history. This blatant neglect for our national security also destroyed your borders and your sovereignty and your immigration systems as well. That is why we're here today together. Now, to be fair, I understand you may be feeling, and your countries may be feeling, and your militaries may be feeling some whiplash. Because just 18 months ago, the previous U.S. administration under Joe Biden, especially the previous administration here at Southern Command, stood in front of you promoting priorities like gender issues, women, peace, and security, or climate change, or diversity, dudes in dresses. I've said this before, but the Department of War is done with that nonsense. Full stop. And I assume you and your countries are as well. Real threats, real capabilities, no more leftist make-believe or dress-up time. The hard-working, law-abiding people of our nations suffered together far too long. But now we are working together, we are building together, and we are training together. We are killing terrorists.